What's going on, YouTube? We're gonna try a little Madden today. I haven't played this in so long. It's been way too long. Obviously, I've still first season of this. It's been out since August. Since I got Friday the 13th, it's pretty much been all that. So let's try this. I'm just gonna play a regular season game, and we'll go from there. Today. Usually I would go both ways, but we will. Thank you. I will. We'll just go with offense today. Wow, I really can't believe I've only played 6 games of this. Usually by now I've run through 2 or 3 seasons of this, and I'm gonna go to some live games with actual people here eventually. It's just I have not been playing with this. And obviously, I've increased the players because that's fun for me. But I'll actually go to start playing actual players here as soon as I get used to it.
Hello everybody, I'm Larry Ridley. This is Madden 18 on EA Sports. We should be in for some fun football today as a very good offense will be on the field. The Vikings are #1 in total yards and are going up against the Ravens defense that will need to be at the top of its game. With that, it's time to hook up with our commentators in the booth as we turn it over to Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
EA Sports coverage takes us to one of the newest jewels on the NFL.
That is such a beautiful stadium. I have not been up there yet. The last Vikings game that I've managed to get up to was the playoff game against Seattle, where I froze my ass off for, 3 hours. And when I say it was cold, I mean it was cold. You couldn't feel your toes. The beers that I had, you had to drink them quickly because they froze within minutes. So drink quickly. The coolest / worst thing that I've ever seen was at that game. It was so cold. The guy with the beard in front of us had like chewing tobacco and spit sickles coming from his beard. So that was pretty awesome.
So this offense will head back out there already.
I have not been into football as much as I would have liked this year. I just can't seem to get into it. We'll just go coach's suggestion. I just can't seem to get into it. I am not sure how I got here, but that's all right. They must have turned the ball over.
Following the interception, here's Bridgewater. And his first look is incomplete.
Of course it's incomplete.
Just looking at from a defensive perspective.
What really makes you feel like a wimp when you go to those cold temperature games is seeing like 90-year-old Bud Grant out there in just short sleeves. And I'm bundled up as much as possible and I can't feel my toes. And you would think that the alcohol would help keep you warm. It doesn't. That's a myth. There's a point where...
And on 2nd and 10 now.
There is a point where it's just too damn cold for anything, and that's one of them.
From the shotgun, it's Bridgewater. This will be caught at about the 6. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. That time the completion goes for 4 yards, and we're set up with a 3rd and goal.
And you can tell it's been a while since I played because I would have pushed it in on them already. No way that they would take me to 3rd down, but...
How far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Here's Bridgewater. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact.
Come on!
Incomplete.
This team is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. It came in, made the contact.
Now, I'm just going to kick the field goal because that's what I would do in any other time. I'm not going to try to impress you by
And Forbath will put this one through.
by just going for it on 4th down all the time. I'll take the points any way I can get them. That's the way it should be in real life. That's the way that it's here. You know, obviously, you know, 1 of 3 for 4 yards for Bridgewater in the first drive. Not the best. So we're going to hope for a little bit better now that I have a little bit more room to work with.
Thanks to the interception. Now the Vikings offense works their way back onto the field. Well, what do you think? You get the ball at the turnover near the middle of the field. You take a shot here in the first play?
You know I'm big on that. I love when I have great field position after a turnover. I feel like I might have a little bit off balance. I prefer to take a shot, but a lot of coaches will tell you, you only do it if you trust the guy.
Now, the Vikings are having a great season so far, and I really wish I could have been into it a little bit more.
First carry now for the rookie, Dalvin Cook.
Dalvin Cook, that injury was, it just sucked. Seeing him go down like that, it was just sad. He had such a promising rookie season. I hope he comes back next year. Whether he does or not, you know, we'll see how tough the kid is. Obviously, Bridgewater is back after tearing his knee apart.
Flushed out right. Oh, and now he bowls him over. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain.
I get the idea of going with the hot hand.
And we have to give credit to
but I would love to see him back in there.
But you know, there's some really upset defenders on that one.
I think he would be fine.
Instead, he was coated in Teflon and got away.
Maybe it's because they're trying to trade him after the year. You know, and if you don't know how good he is, maybe you get a little bit more for him as opposed to if he sucks. I guess we'll find out. See, I'll always get my touchdown eventually.
His 9th touchdown of the season, and the Vikings are going to... We drop you in now to first quarter action as the offense begins this drive. The Vikings offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments. It's really simple to say that they know their identity, that they are a passing team. But one of the reasons that they're so successful, they know how to mix in the run and make sure that they keep the defense off balance and not able to just simply say, let's go get the quarterback and disrupt things.
Give him 10 yards on that one.
You know, as somebody that's played this game quite a bit over the last longer than I'd like to admit, probably 10 years or so, 10, 15 years. The commentary has gotten so much better. The graphics have gotten so much better with time. As I look at the old games now, it's tough to watch. It's tough to think that I thought that was cool at some point. And I just threw an interception, so that's not good.
It's the rookie from Alabama, Marlon Humphrey. And to the 40-yard line, that's where the return stops. They told us repeatedly earlier in the week in our meetings, we need some plays from our defense here on the road.
Yeah, I tend to make really stupid mistakes at times. So that was one of them.
Pointing out to their defense that the other defense is rated higher than them. You gonna let that happen, guys?
Meanwhile, over in Lambeau, an update, and it's an early lead there for the Saints. Drew Brees, a first quarter touchdown pass in that one. The Vikings offense now heading out to take over. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again.
And speaking of Green Bay that they just mentioned, there's a lot of talk if the Aaron Rodgers hit was dirty or not. I'm going to say this. If you're a Packer fan, you probably thought it was dirty. If you're a Vikings fan, you probably didn't think it was dirty at all. I'm right in the middle there. He probably could have pulled up a little bit, but at the same time, if Aaron Rodgers doesn't hurt himself, we're not talking about it. So, wow.
They got him for a sack. Terrell Suggs in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year. Let's see here, Charles. He was sacked 6 times last week. Now a first quarter sack. What's going on in his mind?
Well, he's thinking to himself, 5 offensive linemen. I got sacked 6 times last week. Let's start thinking about keeping extra people in. Tight end stays in. If I have a fullback or the running back, they stay in and help me block. Maybe not as many receivers in a pattern. Anything to try and slow down that pass rush.
As the Chicago score goes up there, you know what? I know Chicago fans are kind of down on Mitch Trubisky. I think he's going to be all right. I think that he shows a lot of promise. It's a young team. What the hell was that? Okay.
So hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down.
Pass interference. Defense.
Yeah, it was.
Trying to defend the out route there. Got the PI.
As I was saying, I think he's going to be fine. I think he shows a lot of promise. You get somebody to throw it to. Off the top of my head, I can't name one Bears receiver. So it's not like he has a lot of options there. I can't think of who their running back is, really.
Bridgewater now looking to throw on first. And complete right side to Cook. And he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. 1 quarter in the books. 10-zip our score.
I think the Lions are overrated.
NFL Sunday returns following this. They've got a 2nd and 9.
I think the Vikings are going to walk away with this division this year. And that's not saying much. It's cheap when there's no Aaron Rodgers. It's kind of a hollow victory because you're not playing against the best.
Open here, Adam Thielen. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25.
That Adam Thielen is something else this year.
As the drive will continue.
I don't think I even knew his name last year, and now he's everywhere. If he's not in the Pro Bowl, I think that'll be a huge disappointment to me. Not that anyone really watches the Pro Bowl, but that's besides the point. Are they still doing it where you have the 2 captains picking teams? I don't like that. Just do the old AFC versus NFC. Do it at the end of the year so the Super Bowl players can be in it. I don't see why it's so difficult. Just
15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down. Well, this is how you shake the thoughts of that interception on the last drive. You come out and start this one 4 for 4.
And watching him throw it around with that type of confidence reminds me of a guy I played with way back when who told me, I don't care if I throw 10 interceptions in a row.
And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Laquan Treadwell, his 10th touchdown of the season, 2nd of the game. And the Vikings find a way to stretch their lead.
And I guess I would be remiss if I didn't talk about the whole kneeling thing. I know a lot of people get really pissed off about it. I think it's doing exactly what Kaepernick wanted, and that's making people talk about it, and that's great. I don't understand how... I guess in the end, I don't really care. If they kneel or not. It doesn't affect my opinion of the national anthem. I am not offended that they are kneeling. I think it's great that they are able to bring attention to a cause.
Give him 3 yards on the run there. That still leaves him with a difficult 3rd and 8 coming up.
Well, if the coaching staff's doing a good job upstairs, they'll file away what they just saw from the defense right there. They sold out to stop that running play. I'd say keep that in mind. They want to try that.
I think at this point it's more about Trump calling them a son of a bitch than it is about the cause it was originally. I have no idea why I did that. That's why I usually don't talk while I'm playing this game, because I'm not thinking. I'm trying to think of what to say next to keep this kind of going.
He was going to get a flag on that one, looking for it, but he wasn't going to get it. And his ex-defensive
the whole
back,
kneeling thing is,
when they let you play and jostle
it's
downfield.
fine. Let them have their protest. A buddy of mine works in a union, and I asked him what exactly he does that's not in his union contract, and he said absolutely nothing. Well, standing for the national anthem is not in their union contract, so they don't really have to do it. at the end of the day. They don't.
Put that on a dime? He did. Wow. Out of bounds at the 1-yard line.
That was pretty good.
Now Joe Flacco and the offense heading back out onto the field.
My least favorite argument for why they're offended is that, you know, they should be made to. It should be part of the workplace that they're made to do it, made to stand for the national anthem. I hate that. One, again, it's a union, so if they want that, they should have bargained for it. Again, it wasn't a big deal when they probably negotiated their last contract, and maybe it will be when they renegotiate again.
First down, here's the run with Cook. And a pretty little juke move there on a nice game.
But they didn't negotiate it, so that's one.
Some options on second and short.
He had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed
To the reason that I don't like it is nobody else has to stand for the national anthem. I mean, I don't start my job every day with the national anthem that I need to stand for. That my work is looking at me and making sure that I'm standing for it. They do it with the NFL. I don't understand the reason why we're playing the national anthem before a bunch of millionaires gives themselves CTE.
And he goes down. The Ravens able to get to him.
Not so great there. Okay. And what really gets me is that our tax dollars are paying for this advertisement. They're paying, the government pays the NFL, so they'll play the national anthem, and they do the jets flying over and the big flags. That's all.
The Vikings on third down. Just 1 for 3.
They pay for it.
This is 3rd and 4.
I didn't call that timeout. But what have you.
They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter.
Normally I don't dive into politics on this channel, but what the hell? I have time to kill, and you know, I'm winning this game.
The Vikings on third down.
And again, I know this looks simple, this game. Really, I'm just trying to get my
on play action.
And
he's got some space here. Good coverage downfield led to a
sorry, I got distracted. In order to relearn how to play the game at a decently high level before I look stupid playing against people that probably play it every day. And I don't think the best trash talking I can do is, well, hey, let's try Friday the 13th and I'll kill you as Jason. No, that doesn't work like that.
It'll be second down.
Anytime a ball's thrown in the middle of the field, it's popped up in the air, I expect someone to catch. It doesn't matter whether it's offense or defense, because there's usually a great amount of bodies in that part of the field. In this case, no one came up with it.
Second down now after the incompletion.
Let's go.
From the gun, Bridgewater. He's got it complete to Diggs, right side. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. 19 yards on the pickup there, and now they'll have it 1st and goal. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure,
And if you want my honest opinion, you know, anything political, I think we're all too political in this country. There's no reason that we need to be so partisan. Really, politics anymore is like the Vikings playing the Packers. You know, you're either a Packers fan for whatever reason, and you're a Vikings fan for whatever reason, and all we know is we don't like the Packers. So as long as we beat the Packers, nothing else matters. But these people run our country.
for him as he's going to be
And
held up short of
what
the
has a
goal line.
politician ever really done for you? Whether they be Democrat or Republican, what have they ever done for you? Absolutely nothing.
They held him out on second down.
The thing that
Now
matters
here's
is
third and goal.
everything at the state level or in the local level. That's what affects your life. The President of the United States does not really affect your life. So
Steps away to his
we all
left.
just need to calm down. What the F was that?
One, but incomplete.
The way he's been slinging in the first half, you expect everything he throws to go for a touchdown, but I guess he's going to have to wait to try and pick up that third, isn't he?
Yeah, I thought he had him for a second, but you're right, not to be.
I wanted to dive in there, but apparently that means I just wanted to throw the ball.
Less than an extra point
Whatever.
attempt here.
All right,
This is
let's
an
just
18
kick
yarder.
this.
And Forbath will
And I'll
put
take
this
20 to
one
nothing.
through. And the lead now increases to 20 to nothing. So they take it all the way to the 1-yard line, but in the end they opt for 3.
I know if this was a video game, they never would have gone for the field goal because, Brandon, who kicks field goals in video games? But you've got to make sure you get points.
Shut up. I kick field goals in video games. Why not?
Corner in Cleveland.
At least make it look a little bit realistic. Even though I'm up 20 to nothing, and we'll probably win this game by 40 points. Yeah, I'm worried about it being realistic. Again, I'm sorry for being so political. Nobody really wants to hear anyone's political beliefs, but with the whole kneeling thing, that's what I think about it. I think we're making way too big of a deal of it. I think we should be having that conversation of police relations with not even just black people, but people in general. And, you know, as a 30-something-year-old white guy, I understand that my relationship with the police is probably different from somebody, a black guy in downtown Los Angeles or in Compton. Yes. You know, I'm sure that their relationship and my relationship are completely different things. And by all means, let's have that conversation.
And a big hit there as he runs into a brick wall. Only
But
3
let's
there
not
to pick up, but that's enough to move the chain.
take too much time thinking about the protest, because the protest is just that, just to raise awareness.
Exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the first down.
Them kneeling or standing has no effect on what your level of patriotism is.
2 minutes remain here in
I
the
have no
first
doubt
half.
that Colin Kaepernick loves this country, and that everyone that kneeling does. They're trying to make their own point, and them making a point doesn't affect how I feel about the country.
Back now.
So,
as I search for my cue card here, there we go. Coming up at halftime, Larry Ridley will join us from Orlando. He'll
that's
have
that. I'm going to
highlights
drop
and
the politics
analysis
now. We'll
from
go back
our
to
first half
whatever this
of
game
play.
is. I'm up 20 to 3.
Yeah, thank you.
Almost halftime, so we're almost halfway done.
Bridgewater to throw it. He'll find Thielen working the middle. And he's finally taken down, but not before getting across midfield and across the 45-yard line. A good pick up there of 20 yards.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
So Bridgewater is back, and as much as I say that actually happened. I was about ready to say, what I love about Bridgewater is that he doesn't make a whole lot of mistakes. He's fairly accurate with the ball. He's never had more than 20 touchdowns, though. Again, he's only played a couple of seasons, so maybe he'll get better, maybe he won't. Maybe his knee is healed, maybe it's not. He just has so many question points. but the Vikings defense is championship caliber. So with that, I think that they have a very good chance to be playing in this stadium in the Super Bowl. Can they beat a New England? Maybe not. I don't really see anyone in the NFC that's really that super tough. Philadelphia looks real good, but other than that, who's not beatable? I mean, Dallas is awful.
Try to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw, and that'll be incomplete.
Everything about that play tells you about today's NFL offenses and what they're asking out of running backs. You can't just be a guy who can run the football.
Atlanta's not very good this year. New Orleans is starting to get better. Maybe they compete a little bit. I don't think that they can. We already seen what they can do with the Vikings defense, and that's a whole lot of nothing.
Let's go. Play 90. Play 90. Hey.
Throwing is Bridgewater. Going with a screen for Murray. And now the Raven defense.
Well, that was pitiful.
It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. So the defense had a chance to catch their breath, and now they're back out and ready. The Vikings on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 10.
Get ready. Wide 80. Wide 80. Tiger. Tiger. Force. Check. Let's go.
To throw, Bridgewater. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. That's taken on the 25, and he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. A big kick that time, 52 yards. And the Ravens, they'll take over. This offense ready to get back out there as they'll have the football to start the 3rd quarter.
I really need to start calling my own plays. I'm really being lazy by using the coaches. Usually, I will go through and actually pick my own plays. I like a certain amount of run to pass. But again, it's been a while since I've played this, so I'm trying to I'm more just trying to get my feet wet in this, and I really need to get better, because as much of an advantage that I put with the team, I should be up a lot more than this. So that's how I know I'm not doing so well. I mean, I'm going to win this game either way. Holy crap, I almost...
A turnover would have really helped there. Almost intercepted. Instead, it's just 2nd down.
You're down 2 touchdowns. You just know defensively you absolutely have to come up with a big play. That nearly was one right there.
Looked over at the sideline immediately after the drop and just saw the dejection. They felt it. They thought he had it. Unfortunately, couldn't come up with it. And a good swarm to the football defensively as they get him down at about the 40.
3rd quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Now Bridgewater finding a safety valve here. That's complete. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. Here's Ryan Quigley now as he's on to punt for Minnesota. And he gets it away, a directional kick going toward the sideline. That'll be out of bounds, and how good was that? They'll say the 3-yard line. That's where they spot it.
About the only thing that I'm confident in this game is the punting.
The Ravens offense getting ready now for their first possession of the 2nd half. They were able to get the stop defensively. Now it's
Joe
really
Flacco. I'm really surprised he's still a thing. I remember they won the Super Bowl, and they gave him this huge contract, and then you never really heard from him again. That's what I know of Joe Flacco.
This offense will start with tough field position inside the 10. They'll try and get the running game going here with Murray. No gain on the play. It'll be second down. So nothing there. I don't know that that's all in the back, though. You got to look at blocking there, don't you?
I would agree with that totally. At some point, they have to win at the point of attack. Instead, it was the defense getting it done again and holding them to no gain.
Second down, Bridgewater. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Hodges. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
Third and short yardage, Bridgewater. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. 17 yards on the pickup there, and also a first down.
Now, I know a lot of people that play this game really love to go for the home run. I am not one of them. I will dink and dunk and work the ball downfield slowly and methodically. Like, this rush game is obviously not working, but I'm still going to use it. One, because I'm up by, what, 14 with just a quarter left, just over a quarter. 5 rushes, 5 yards. That's sad.
That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And it'll be third
Bowser. Wasn't that one of Mario's enemies? Trying to think that that was a Mario Kart thing.
They know how to finish plays too. Eyes up, head up, run right through them.
On third down, Bridgewater.
Oh, shoestring tackle there. He should have been gone.
Into enemy territory down to the 40-yard line. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on third down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a first down.
They go play action here on first down. And Diggs has it. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 15, just shy of the 10. A really good pickup of 28 yards.
And what's great about this is I can go back and watch this game on YouTube. So it's fun to do the broadcast thing. I don't expect anyone to actually watch this, especially all the way through.
Inside the red zone here. Bridgewater now looking to throw on first. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Bucky Hodges with his first career NFL touchdown.
Bucky Hodges? If you name your kid Bucky, that's child abuse.
The second half, now you start to pull away a little bit and get some breathing room going.
And now we find out about the fortitude.
Either that or you really want them to be tough. Because I think with a name like Bucky, you'd have to be kind of a badass or you're going to get beaten up every day.
Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. Here's Murray now as they run it to start the drive. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line.
Speaking of Tampa Bay, what's happened to Jameis Winston? I thought he was going to be this amazing quarterback this year. Just kind of been awful. I mean, Mariota's been kind of hurt this year, so I give him a little pass for his downswing. David Carr, I think, has been a little banged up as well. But yeah, Jameis Winston has not been that impressive. I wonder if Cam Newton will ever come back and be the same Cam Newton from the Super Bowl era. That's also another one that's just kind of dropped off the radar.
Eluding the pressure right. He may try and run for this. And he's got the first down. Yardage before being taken down at midfield. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a first down. That is an absolute backbreaker. That was a design passing play. Wasn't a draw. You think you got him stopped. Good coverage downfield. And he's able to pick up the first with his legs. Defensively, that kicks into your psyche and hurts a little bit, doesn't it?
It certainly does. And here's the thing. Anytime you give up a first down, it hurts you psychologically, but it hurts more.
So who do you think the Vikings will give up? Because obviously, with the year that Case Keenum has had, he's going to be very much in high demand, and he'll want to be a starter. Bridgewater obviously will still want to be a starter. Even Bradford will want to be a starter somewhere. I would not be surprised if two of these quarterbacks are not on the roster next year. I don't know who they stick with. Keenum obviously has had a great year, but he doesn't have the best track record of being consistent. Bradford is always hurt, and you got Bridgewater, who may never be the same again. I mean, it's amazing that he's back, but just a year and a half ago, they were worried about saving his leg, much less ever playing again.
Back-to-back completions, they are rolling.
So much for being conservative and running that football. So after that big play, let's see if they can catch their defense maybe.
I hope it's Bridgewater, because I think that he's a good dude.
Now a play fake here on first down.
Oh,
Incomplete. A turnover would have really helped there, almost intercepted.
But part of me wouldn't be surprised if they went in a completely new direction.
They let the guys get downfield, but when push came to shove, they stood.
I read today that Tyrod Taylor was in the mix for that, in the mix for being traded to Minnesota. I'm hoping that's not really a thing. Nothing against Tyrod. I think he's probably a pretty good quarterback, but at the same time, he's just another average quarterback.
Before the series began, I know exactly what we said the defensive problem.
The only time Minnesota gets a amazing franchise quarterback is if, he's well past his prime, a la Brett Favre and Warren Moon. I mean, the Fran Tarkingtons and the Vikings there's just Fran Tarkenton. They had Randall Cunningham, who was great for a year. But again, well past his prime at that point.
Anything in the passing game, so he scrambled, and wouldn't you know it, he scores a touchdown anyway. It's awfully nice to have a quarterback who can make things happen with his legs.
Dante Culpepper was very promising until he blew out his knee, and then his confidence fell apart, and he was just awful. I remember that Dante was in the running to either go to, or Miami was going to either take Culpepper or Drew Brees from San Diego at the time. I think Miami's regretting a little bit that they took Dante Culpepper, but I guess hindsight's 20/20.
And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech. And incomplete there. A nice
incomplete.
Hit, jars the ball free and brings up third down. The Vikings on third down. They've hit on half of them, 5 for 10. This is 3rd and 9. Play action now. Bridgewater.
Well, since Bridgewater's my only running game at this point.
Give him 8 yards that time on the scramble, and now 4th down. Here's Ryan Quigley now. He's been terrific so far.
Quigley? Quigley down under?
He gets us away. It's a good one. Drawing toward the sidelines. And a little too much mustard on that one. It hits a couple yards into the end zone. A missed opportunity there. Maybe
more like a couple inches, but I guess we can go a couple yards. I mean, there's a big difference There's not that much of a difference between a couple yards and a couple inches. You know, except a lot.
Late stages of the game here.
I really shouldn't expect so much from a computer-generated commentary. It's not like the computer's actually watching the game.
Nice job to break the one tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense.
No, you just need to let this game end, because why let this brutal onslaught continue?
And keep in mind,
keep your guys healthy.
At the 2-minute warning. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll lead here to a third down.
Brandon, it's clearly a
third down.
When you're up in the fourth quarter, they're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow him down.
And he'll be taken down just shy of the 40. It's a gain of 20 and picking up the first. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on third down. Went his way.
I was happy to see Laquan Treadwell be a little bit more active in the offense this year. After being a first-round pick, I just kind of assumed that he would be at least in the lineup every once in a while, but last year they didn't really have him in there at all.
The football as we get you reset. And the scoreboard on their side, they're just looking to melt away these final couple of minutes and put this one in the left-hand column. A handoff. It's Murray. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a first down.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the fourth as it was way back in the
What are you doing?
I do believe someone put a lot of
I am not going to actually throw the ball here. I'm just going to let this clock wind.
At this rate.
The Rams are a real surprise this year. I would have never thought that Jared Goff would have progressed quite so quickly. But the results speak for themselves. Obviously, they stumbled last week against the Vikings, but again, that's also one of the best defenses in the NFL.
But would you say a 7-yard run is ahead of schedule?
Fourth quarter with the lead, you love that, don't you?
No doubt about it, because staying on schedule is trying to get 4 downs on first down. They did that plus 3.
Now a give. This is Murray. And he'll take it inside the 40 to the 39-yard line. It'll be a gain of 2 on the play, but they'll remain a few inches short here with third down looming.
They're in a pretty good spot right now with a convincing
all right,
lead. I think this is where they put
and that's going to do it for this one. The game is coming to a close, so if you actually stayed for this whole thing and listened to my rants on politics and Minnesota Vikings football and the rest of the NFL, I really need to tell you to get a life. But thank you. No, thank you for listening if you actually did. It was a lot of fun. I'll try to do this game a little bit more. Next time I will definitely go against somebody live. You know, get a little trash talking going, see if I can get my butt kicked. That would be awesome. All right, guys, take it easy.